ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಕ್ಷಮಿಸಿ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷಲ್ಲೂ ಮಾತಾಡಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. So as Rajesh was saying, Kannada got the tag of classical language. So why was this language? Some languages are giving classical language. So because the richness in the language. I'll just give one example. Can anyone give me a word which has two different meanings? Like same word sounds similar, but it has two different meanings. For example, dye. So it could be like somebody's hair dye, or somebody is like about to die. Right? So but it sounds similar, right? So one word but has two meanings, two contexts.
In English or Kannada?
In any language, in any language.
Sun.
Sun, yeah, sun as in the sun rise in the morning, and sun as in somebody's son, right? So one word having two meanings. Can someone give me a sentence which is having two meanings? It could be similar, same example like, I entered the room and he was dying. So it could be like either he was dying or he was like not about it. So it becomes difficult, right? When it's a word we can give, when it's a sentence it becomes a little more difficult. If it's a paragraph, it becomes a little more difficult. What if it is an entire chapter? What if it is the entire Mahabharata? It becomes even more and more difficult, right? To find words and sentences which gives two meanings. So in 9th century, a poet in Kannada called as Ranna writes a part of Mahabharata called as Sahasa Bhima Vijaya in two different meanings. You take one example, one context, you get the entire actual story of Mahabharata. You take the other context, you get a certain very different story. I'll just quote a very small phrase in that. So the phrase goes like this: Kurukularkanu Markanu Asta Medidar. So if you take example of Mahabharata context, you see that Kurukula means the Kuru Vamsha. Kuru Vamsha's son, who is Duryodhana, is dying a slow death, because it was not an instant death if you know the Mahabharata. So he died a very slow death. So that is one translation. Exactly the same words can also be interpreted as Arka means the sun, as Sadish was pointing, like the sun rises in the morning. So the sun, right? So the sun is setting and the birds are going to the nest. No, it's that meaning also you get. The sun is setting. So the sun as in the sun, S-U-N, sun is setting. On the other side you see the son of Kurukula, which is Duryodhana, he is also dying. And the birds are going to nest. So the whole thing goes on. So here we can appreciate the mastery of Ranna on the language, because it's not very easy to write the entire Mahabharata or portion of Mahabharata which is having two different meanings. And the whole thing continues from beginning to end. Like you have one side you get the history of Mahabharata, on the other side you get nature and all that other context. So here we appreciate the Ranna's mastery over the language on one side. On the other side, we also see how rich the language is. The vocabulary of the language is so much that you can create masterpieces like this. And this was 9th century, right? And not only that, even to present day context, we have so much Kannada literature which can be used in our day-to-day life. It can help us solve present day problems. Like the work of Baswanna, right? So Baswanna's work, one of his famous quote is Kayakave Kailasa, meaning work is worship. This he told in 12th century. Same thing was also told by Rabindranath Tagore in 19th century, and we all know that Rabindranath Tagore got a Nobel Prize for that. So if you have to give Rabindranath Tagore a Nobel Prize, so imagine what we have to give for Baswanna. That was like much before in 12th century AD, wherein these concepts were nowhere found. And this goes on. The Kannada language kept becoming richer and richer by so many different authors like Basavanna, Akka Mahadevi, Sharana philosophy, and Pampa. This goes on. The language is just getting richer and richer, and they're talking about so many social problems which are even practical today. And the solution to caste system, what we face today in different walks of life, he's solved this in 12th century itself. So just imagine how much the real wealth is. Not only in the KGF gold field. The wealth is actually the language of Kannada and its rich literature. So I'd like to end my speech with a small poem about Kannada. I just have to refer. So my voice is not great, so you have to please bear with me. ಕನ್ನಡ ಎನಕುಣಿದಾಡುವುದೆನ್ನದೆ ಕನ್ನಡ ಎನಕಿವಿ ನಿವಿರುವುದು ಕಾಮನ ಬಿಲ್ಲನ್ನು ಕಾಣುವ ಕವಿಯಲು ತೆಕ್ಕನ ಮನವೇ ಬರೆಯುವುದು ಕನ್ನಡ ಕನ್ನಡ ಹಾಸವಿ ಕನ್ನಡ 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 ಹಾಸವಿ ಕನ್ನಡ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹರಿ ಬರೆಯುವನು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹರ ತಿರಿಯುವನು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿಯೇ ಭಿನ್ನಹಗೈದೊಡೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿಯೇ ಭಿನ್ನಹಗೈದೊಡೆ ಹರಿವರ ಗಳಮಲೆ ಕರೆಯುವನು ಹರ ಮುರಿಯದೆ ತಾ ಪೊರೆಯುವನು ಕನ್ನಡ ಎನಕುಣಿದಾಡುವುದೆನ್ನದೆ ಕನ್ನಡ ಎನಕಿವಿ ನಿವಿರುವುದು. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ವೆರಿ ಮಚ್.